Going back to the library's homepage, I'm now going to show you some indexes you can use to find government information sources beyond those that are listed in the library's catalog. From here, we first select Find Articles and More. Then we select Government Publications. The first 4 titles listed under Recommended Resources are the ones we'll be looking at. Before we do that, look at the other titles listed below. These are indexes and databases produced by various government agencies. Most are freely available to the general public. The exceptions are StatUSA, DARTS, and USA Trade Online. Those resources are only available in the library's reference room. You can ask for assistance in the Documents Office, room 133, if you'd like to search one of those databases. The first title in the Recommended Resources section is the Catalog of U.S. Government Publications, or the CGP. This catalog is produced by the U.S. Government Printing Office and includes records for all publications sent to federal depository libraries since July of 1976. Sims Memorial is what's known as a selective or partial depository. We receive approximately 40% of the materials distributed through the depository program. If you search the library's online catalog, all you'll find is that 40%. To find the other 60% of the materials that are available, you need to use a comprehensive source such as the CGP. Doing a basic keyword search for arson in the CGP brings up 112 records. You may recall that we found 60 federal documents on this topic in the library's catalog, so you can see that we are finding additional titles here. The first title in our results list is the same hearing we looked at in the online catalog. Clicking on the title brings up a bibliographic record for that publication. You can see that it has the same basic information we saw in the online catalog, but it's arranged in a slightly different order. Going back to the results list, you can see that the second title is the electronic version of this hearing. To see the full text, you could click the link in the far right-hand column, or you could bring up the bibliographic record and click the link there. The third title in our results list is for the print version of the same hearing. That record did not appear in the library's online catalog because Sims Memorial doesn't receive the congressional hearings in print. Looking at the links in the right-hand column, you'll notice that most begin with perl.access.gpo.gov, etc. These are Persistent Uniform Resource Locators, or PURLs. These persistent links take you first to a computer at the Government Printing Office, which then forwards you to the current location of that resource. If that resource moves, only GPO has to update their forwarding address, and the 1,200 or so federal depositories around the country don't have to go into their catalogs individually to correct that link. On the other hand, if GPO's Perl server suffers a catastrophic failure, which happened recently, then none of the Perls will work. We have high hopes that such a failure will never happen again. In this catalog, too, you can limit your search to documents that are available online. Scrolling back up to the top of the screen, I'll now select Internet Publications. Redoing our search for arson here, we come up with 30 titles that are available online. That's the same number we got when we searched the library's catalog. Going back to the list of recommended resources, the next title I'll show you is the Government Publications Index. This is a commercial database which is very similar to the CGP. It's a comprehensive index that includes federal publications issued from July 1976 to the present. Again, Sims Memorial will only have about 40% of the physical publications listed in the database. This source has a fairly antiquated search interface. The first problem is that the default search is a browse title search. In most cases, you will need to click keyword and subject before you enter your search terms. I'll do a keyword subject search for arson. As you can see, we now get a list of 42 subject headings that include the word arson. The search has looked just at the subject headings assigned to each title and has not searched all the fields in the bibliographic record. The number in the left-hand column tells us how many titles in this database use that particular heading as their main or most important subject heading. I'm going to click the Arson Investigation heading, which has 12 titles. The first 9 of those 12 are displayed. When I click one of these, Arson in the United States, a full bibliographic record is displayed. The SUDOC number appears at the top of the record, and the link to the full text online is just below. Notice that the title field has a bracketed note that says electronic resource. That indicates this record is for the online edition of this title. Even though a SUDOC number is given, this title may or may not have been published in a physical edition. If you do wish to check Sims Library's collections for a physical copy, take note of the physical description field before you go to the stacks or the microform cabinets. This publication is 40 pages long. Many items in the print collections are only 1 or 2 pages long. Others are multiple volume sets with thousands of pages. It will be helpful to know the approximate size of the publication you're seeking before you start your search. To begin a new search in this index, click the Express Search button at the top of the screen. This takes you back to the beginning screen where you can enter new terms or new limitations. To do a more advanced search, click the Combined Search button. Here in the Any Word field, you can do a more traditional keyword search of the entire bibliographic record. Also notice that you have a box here that you can click to limit your search to internet resources. Redoing our search here for arson, and using the internet resources limitation, we get 33 records.